the discovery. They traveled for 144 days. They arrived here May 13th of 1607, leaving 104 settlers, all men and boys, including Captain John Smith and a man named George Percy. Now Percy, like Smith, will write about his adventures here, and Percy tells us in his account that the first settlers built a fort. They built it out of wood, they shaped it like a triangle, and they built this fort in 19 days. But Percy never recorded where this fort was built. No document has ever survived to tell us the precise location where this first fort was built at Jamestown, so without that documentation we had two major problems. The fort's built out of wood. Over time that wood rots away, so sometime by the mid to late 1620s the fort's disappeared off the landscape. Then there's a bigger problem, and that's the James River. Now since 1607 that river has washed away huge amounts of land. So much land was disappearing due to erosion that as early as the 1830s, visitors like yourself coming to Jamestown, they said they could see the fort site out in the river. I've been over 20 years, and when I first arrived at Jamestown, the story was very simple. The site where this fort stood 400 years ago, where our nation began, is somewhere out there underneath the waters of this river. And then in 1993, an archaeologist by the name of Dr. Bill Kelso arrived here, and Dr. Kelso claimed the fort site wasn't gone. He believed through a series of clues, well, he and others had found, if allowed to dig here, he could actually find this fort site. Well, at the time, 2007 was fast approaching, he was given the task. Dig at Jamestown, find the fort site, or sadly prove that it's gone. Well, he starts digging here April 4th of 1994. On his first day, he found the fort site. This is an active dig. If you come back Monday, they'll be digging at the site. They find something new every single day. How did he and his colleagues solve one of the greatest mysteries in our history? Well, we're going to find out today because you're going to do it. At each of my 4 stops on this tour, the tour is going to last about 40 minutes. We're going to walk a grueling 400 yards, and I'll divide that into 4 stops. And at each stop, I'm going to give you the clues that were used to solve this mystery. So by the time we're done, you'll know how Dr. Kelso did it because you will do it yourselves. And once we're done, you'll be standing on the very piece of ground where a fort stood 400 years ago, where a nation began, and where a young girl of 10 years old did cartwheels. Her name's Pocahontas, and she gave Dr. Kelso the first clue he needed. Let's go this way.